You are watching the rolling lap for the Cadet Army first heat race of the day. 36 drivers. I think we may be down to 35 because I haven't seen Robbie Stapleford, the number 24 driver from Colville. He didn't qualify and he hasn't gone out now. And the number 48, Luca Benest, the Eclipse Motorsport driver from Jersey. He is slow to get off the dummy grid and is the dummy grid, so he's going to try and catch up a while. But it's going to be Freddie Spindlow, the Mark Baines Motorsport driver, and Archie Mace, privateer, on the front row. Taylor Barnard, and there's a false start there. There's Karts that didn't come around the last corner cleanly, and so it's a false start. Which we will, and somebody is off. I can't see the number, but sadly, maybe down to 34 drivers. The remaining 34 all now will get themselves back into formation. So, Freddie Spindler, Mark Baines Motorsport driver. Did all the languages I've been learning this weekend. It's such an international event. I forgot to do frag, which is a language all to itself. And that's right. So there we go. That's Trinidadian, Norfolkian, Newportian, and frag. Right. There we go. Spindlow and Mace on row 1. Taylor Barnard and William McIntyre on row 2. Arvid Lindblad and Koska Nerfen on row 3. Josh Rowledge and Alex Dunn, row 4. Rashan Chikarimbo and Harley Keeble, row 5. Max Dodds and Oliver Denny, row 6. Sam Shaw and Josh McLean, row 7. Bradley Beavers and Aidan Neat, row 8. Then Jake Weston and Max Barrow on row 9. Freddie Slater and Aston Miller, row 10. Vinnie Phillips and Archie Brown, row 11. Oliver Gray and Aaron Walker, row 12. Charlie Walsh and Jay Holtby are next. Alfie Briggs, Harry Burgoyne Jr., Archie Kitchen, Oliver Wright, Luca Benest, Sophia Zanfari from Morocco. Just seen her older brother race in OK Jr. Then from Hong Kong, Shua Yuan and Bart Harrison. Luke Watts starting shotgun on the field, and it's Aston Miller that we have lost as well on the initial start. Here we go. Spindlow and Mace. And Mace gets the jump on Spindlow, and 3 drivers over the grass. 1 driver backs into the barrier, and there's another kart spinning on the banking area, and there's a bit of a pile up there, and everyone, so there's the one of the Tony karts, but up front it's Mace who leads. There's a Fusion driver that's embedded in the driver's not. The driver's up and out of the kart and fine. The kart is embedded. Actually, you know what? The kart reverses high speed into a rest cell barrier. Kid sits in it, says, "Come on, Marshall." Marshall goes, "All right," then lifts the barrier up and off he goes. Made of tough stuff, these young drivers are. Now we'll have to gather our thoughts because there's been a lot of changing going on. The 17 of Xia Yuan has got damage. The number 12 of Harley Keeble has got damage. There was one kart that spun right in the middle of the banking, and another driver just kind of like nosed into it, and I think that was Yuan and Keeble. It was number 77, Freddie Slater, who was the one that reversed into the barriers, and he's seemingly okay. I'm just looking, the rear bumper isn't rubbing against the tyres, so he's still okay. So a lot of chopping and changing, and Max Barrow's lost a couple of places, so has Josh McLean. Oliver Denny has dropped 14 places, and Rashan Chikarimbo was also involved there. Harley Keeble, the officials have been watching that rear bumper, and obviously, that's the nose cone of the number 12 kart, and that's almost buckled under the kart, and if that broke off, it would literally vault young Harley into the air, so he has had to retire to the pits. It is now Arvid Lindblad who leads. So Lindblad passing Archie Mace. Mace led the first lap, and it's an excellent second. The privateer driver, who's a bit of a veteran of the cadets scene. He's been racing cadets now, but this must be his final year. The privateer driver. He's coming under pressure from the Primo Racing, number 11 of Alex Dunn. There's Dunn in front of your picture, and then it's the Tony kart of Josh Rowledge. So it is Lindblad, Dunn, Rowledge, and Taylor Barnard into 4th place. Mace slips back to 5th. And what Archie Mace now needs to do is, and there's 3 wide going through the bottom of your screen there, going through the Bruno Ferrari chicane, but they all managed to get round cleanly. And fanning out on the banking, that drag just going through the screen on the banking was a bit nerve-wracking, I've got to say, as Dunn now takes the lead from Lindblad. Taylor Barnard goes with him. Lindblad slots back into 4th place. Luke Watts gets a warning flag. Luke Watts started last and is up to 25th, so he's gained 10 places. There's the number 57, side by side, going down the short chute. That was Aidan Neat, the Fusion driver. Josh McLean getting a warning flag. And, well, there are cameras that you're not seeing that are stationed all the way around the circuit. I mean, there's a team of officials, there's the clerk of the courses on the circuit, but then there's a team of officials behind the scenes who are looking at every camera, and they are obviously seeing issues going on. Now, the pole man, Freddie Spindlow, he has dropped back to 10th. We've got a 9-kart breakaway at the front, led now by the O-Plate winner Taylor Barnard. And, oh no, he's not led by Taylor Barnard, because Dunn ducks up his inside going into turn number 4. Takes the lead. Barnard, though, comes back at him. Lindblad follows him through. It's Dunn's turn to get shuffled wide because Rowledge, Mace, and William McIntyre are also there. Then the number 16 of Sam Shaw. Coscoon Irfan and the number 36 Kart is in there. Oh, and a little bit of weaving going on there as drivers try and sort themselves out. Rowledge now up to 2nd. Then it is Lindblad in 3rd. Mace, McIntyre. McIntyre has got past Archie Mace. And it is Rowledge on the Strawberry Racing Tony kart. So Strawberry Racing returning to the cadet scene. I think the last time we saw a Strawberry Racing cadet was with Kian Jewis. And Kian is here this weekend. He's racing in the cars. He's here helping out one of the Coles Racing drivers. I think Khaled Saab, I believe, that Kian Jewis is helping to coach. It's not a bad coach to have. But he's got another turn. Oh, and up the banking. That's the first time we've seen somebody getting properly dispatched up there. And they've got to be careful. He's on the outside curb. Oh, and that's with one eye on the leaders. It was William McIntyre, and McIntyre gets going, and all it took is for one other driver to run wide coming off the bridge, and that could have been a bit of an issue. And you can see the mechanics. The reaction is that they're telling their drivers, "Come on, calm down." You know, it was, 4 laps in, 4.5 minutes to go. Another change. Arvid Lindblad. It's Taylor Barnard leading by 1.6 seconds. So Barnard and Dunn have been able to extricate themselves from this snarling, massive horsepower. There goes Barnard, looking for a second win out of 3. Dunn also looking for a second win out of 3. And then everybody else. Lindblad still 3rd, followed by Rowling, followed by the number 16 of Sam Shaw for Eclipse Motorsport. And behind them, Freddie Spindlow running a little bit wide onto the curbing. And there's a move there from, was Koskan Irfan, I think, in number 36, making a move. He is there. Max Dodd is 7th. Mace is next. Oliver Gray is up to 9th in number 63. And Oliver Gray, another of the Eclipse drivers. So the Eclipse team coming back into the cadet scene. With, now run by Andy Marlowe. But it's Rowledge chasing Lindblad for 3rd. So you've got Taylor Barnard on a Synergy kart. Now it's Dunn, also on a Synergy, I believe. According to program it is. Then the Zip kart of Lindblad, the Tony kart of Rowledge. But it needs to be said that it's a very different state of affairs. In fact, Harry Peeble is down as being on a Zip. Virtually everybody else, apart from Alfie Briggs, There's been a synergy according to my program, and the last time you saw a massive cadet grid with the name Zip not prevalent. And Luke Hines is here, and he's got a few drivers in this event, and it's always good to see Luke, son of the late Martin Hines. He's from Zip Kart, and around the paddock. Sometimes Luke even knows which paddock he's in. Never cease. 2 minutes to go. Still, Barnard nearly 2 seconds clear of Dunn. Lindblad in third, the Ollie Rowland Motorsport driver. Ollie Rowland, one of 7 or 8 team bosses in the paddock that are former Kart Masters champions. And looks like Barnard and Dunn will not be caught. Well, no, actually, the Barnard won't be caught. Arvid Lindblad. I've got to check with Alex T later. Is Arvid still 9 or has he turned 10 yet? Because he's still got a good few years of a cadet left in him. And he's now chasing down Alex Dunn, the Primo Racing, number 11, with Josh Rowledge right behind him, and then Koskan Irfan. So Koskan Irfan, we're looking at the drivers doing double duty. Lindblad had a shocker in the last Cadet Honda race, but Irfan is actually looking quite good. He's leading the point standings in Cadet Honda. He came into this race 9th in the standings in Miami, but he's up into 5th position, and he's not far behind the battle you're watching on screen now. There he is, behind the green and white Tony Kart. It's the number 36 Eclipse Kart, and it's the number 10 Tony Kart of Max Dodds. Lindblad is really working over the rear bumper of Alex Dunn's Primo Racing entry, and Archie Mace is still there in 7th. Poleman, Freddie Spindlow. I'm just looking up to see where Spindlow is, and the answer is 11th, behind Vinnie Phillips. Vinnie Phillips in the number 87 kart, the Fusion driver, and Freddie Slater in the 77 after that incident on the first lap is still out there. And flying around a long way behind, but the clock strikes 0. It's not a question of will Taylor Barnard take the win, it's by how much will he take the win. That depends on how much Alex Dunn defends against Arvid Lindblad. Rowledge and Irfan are there, you can see them on the camera shot. They're not out of this battle for second place either. Behind them, Dodds, Mace, Gray, Shaw, Phillips, Spindlow, and Archie Brown. Bradley Beavers 13th and Oliver Wright in 14th. Aidan Neat rounding out the top 15 at the moment, with Aaron Walker, Oliver Denny, Rashan Chikarimbo next. Barnard goes over the bridge one last time in this race, and it's still Dunn second. And what's happened to Lindblad? Arvid Lindblad has dropped back, has he? Yes, he has. He is now in 5th position. He was right behind Dunn. He's now fallen back behind Rowledge and Irfan. Well, look at the gap there. Is Taylor Barnard taking it easy through that second hairpin. Lindblad trying to fight back and pass Irfan for what is now 4th place. Dodds right there though in 6th. May 7th. Gray 8th. Then Shaw and Vinnie Phillips. But through the Mike Wilson complex, Taylor Barnard, current Little Man leader, current Super 1 British Cadet Championship leader, now sole possession of the points lead in Kart Masters Cadet Miami with 1 heat remaining. And he wins by 1.6 seconds from Alex Dunn. Rowledge comes home in 3rd, Irfan is 4th, Lindblad is 5th, then Dodds, Mace, Gray, Shaw, Phillips, Spindlow, and Archie Brown. And looking back there, William McIntyre retired after that spin. Harley Keeble, Aston Miller, Xia Yen all out. Freddie Slater will finish 31st and last, and a poor race for Joshua McLean as well. After it must have been an incident. And on the last lap, Aidan Neat dropped out of the top 15 on the last lap, back to 27th. But Taylor Barnard inches ahead of Alex Dunn in the Cadet Miami standings. still an awful lot of racing to go. One heat, one pre-final, and one Grand Prix to go for the Iamis. We look ahead to Mini X30, race number 28 in the programme. The break for lunch will be after race 30, so we have 3 races to go before the lunch break. For the viewers back home, it's a bit of blessed release from my inane babbling. But for the spectators here, we have an absolute treat because, ladies and gentlemen, at the lunch break, we are having a... Oh, what is it? Oh, hang on, I've kind of lost it now. Is it fair to call it a shop mobility scooter race? Believe it. It's a 1 scooter lap. And it's for charity. I'm mocking it. It's not mocking it. It's a charitable event for Noel, who is here in the paddock, and it's for motorsport for MS. And Noel, who runs